Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new season of Put a Ring on It. Episode 1 is up on the YouTube if y'all want to go and check it out. If you have not seen Put a Ring on It, go check out season 1. It was actually a really good season, and now we on to season 2, and I am here to get into it as we get into it. If you are new here, then welcome. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. So there are 3 new couples. I think last time they had 4 couples, but this time it's 3. So we have Shawn and Laronda. Okay, they're a nice looking couple. I call Shawn Little Man, and y'all gonna see why in a little bit. Eric and Jessica. Okay, they look like your cute, average Instagram couples, good for photos and whatnot. Then you have Darion and Alexia. Okay, so Darion was in the group Film Mob. And baby, let me tell y'all something. That's when Atlanta was popping. That's when Sierra was on the scene. That's when she was giving away her goodies, not her goodies. Okay, that was during that time. You know, in the 2000 to 2005 era. That's when Film Mob was really popping. So him and Alexia, they're on the scene. And Alexia is actually a retired professional basketball player. All right, y'all. So when the episode first opens up, we see Dr. Nicole and her ponytail. They're back for another season. Because if you watched last season, you know that Dr. Nicole gonna wear a ponytail if she don't do nothing else, okay? So she tells them that each of them are there for the same reason. They're in a committed relationship, but have not decided to put a ring on it. By the end of this little experiment, they should have the answer to their questions. They should either separate or put a ring on it. The first couple we're introduced to is Laronda and Shawn, Lil Man, and they've been together for 3 years. He slid in the DM on Instagram, and then they went to Dave and Buster's, played some games. He lost them all, but won her heart. Oh, that's cute, Lil Man. Okay. She's it for him, okay? That's the one that he wants to be with. She's an amazing woman. She said everything, that a woman could say and do to win him over. And she said he's everything a woman would want. Okay, so then we see him bringing her like a plate of bacon and eggs or something, honey. So he cooking up some food, honey, bringing her breakfast and whatnot. And so she said that he's for her and she is for him. He said that she's funny, she's affectionate, she's sweet, and she's passionate. And I guess the total package. He's an entertainer. He does stand up. He said that with that lifestyle, it comes with a lot of ups and downs, and he already has his proposal speech together, but he wants more, out of life, and he wants to be more financially stable. Okay, I can see that because a man wants to provide, and I don't think it's anything wrong with that. And those entertainment checks, honey, they can be a bit unpredictable unless you're your Kevin Hart's or Steve Harvey or Cedric the Entertainer. Child, the local improv ain't pulling them checks like that. So, you got to make sure that all of your ducks are in a row. But to her, she said that she feels like he's just giving excuses. But he says he wants to stand on his own 2 feet. Okay. So, on her side, she's saying she hears nothing but excuses. On his side, he says he wants to be the man. Well, I don't know. I don't feel like I hear excuses because what he's saying to me is a valid reason to not want to get married right away, because some marriages break up over finances. So if he wants to be a bit more stable, I say let him try, honey. But it has been 3 years, and that is a long time. So if he ain't stable soon, then he may either have to switch career fields or she may have to switch men. I'm just saying. Next, we have Alexia and Darion. Okay, so remember I told y'all that Alexia is a retired basketball player, professional basketball player, and I'm going to call her Loving Basketball. Then we have Darion. He was in the group Film Mob. People know him as Smoke. I'm so sick of being lonely every night while my man goes out with his homies any other night. Child, if you from ATL, honey, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So y'all remember that song, right? That used to be my jam, okay? But anywho, that's just a side note. So that's the group that he was in, and they met when she was in college, right? So they met at this club that she was waitressing at, and she said 20 minutes after that they was kissing, honey. He do a little this, he do a little that. He's always in the club, and I heard. Honey, that's one of their songs too. That's one of my favorites as well, honey. That's when Sierra was dropping it to the floor and picking it back up. Pre-Russell and whatnot. So they've been kissing ever since then. They started talking a little bit about their relationship, and she said, the best part of him is his energy. It's always a lot of energy. There's never a dull moment. They're always having fun together, and she likes that. And he said, she treats him like a king, honey. Even if he had a booger in his nose, she would reach right up in there and take it out. I'm like, and you ain't married her yet? China not about to be reaching all up in your nose without a ring on it, honey. So they've been together on and off for 14 years. And she said, look, I'm ready to get married. And he did say that she was marriage material. But then he said, I don't want to get that piece of paper and then everything changes and now we're no longer having fun. Okay, then the fun just stops. Well, you actually have to work at it. Like, I feel like you're putting too much thought into this piece of paper. Now, to me, I feel like Darion is the one that's giving excuses. Because just because you get a piece of paper does not mean that life has to stop. Like, I think men think about marriage and then they automatically assume, oh my God, my life is over. I mean, if you've been with me for 14 years, then what is the difference? The only difference is when it's over and you're married, there are different assets and things that you have to split. And it can get a little messy. It's not as clean as pack your duffel bag and get on out of here. But there are benefits to being married. Now, don't ask me, honey, because I've been married twice and it ain't work out and I ain't doing it no more. But I'm just saying, for those of you that have never been married and you want him to put a ring on it, there are benefits to it, honey. Don't let me scare you. So she said if he don't put a ring on it, she gonna be up in the club, okay? Up in the club, just broke up, doing her own little thing. Shout out to Beyonce. She's 34. She wants a ring. She ain't playing with him no more, okay? It's been 14 years, honey. Get into it if you're gonna get into it. So he said he don't want to do it under pressure, right? He said pressure takes the romance away. So then Dr. Nicole said, well, you would be surprised what pressure makes. Honey, it makes diamonds. The diamond that needs to go on her finger. So let's get it together. I'll leave it alone, Darion. Anybody got time to play with you? Then we meet Eric and Jessica. They're a pretty nice looking couple. Eric need to go ahead and shave that head though, honey, because that hairline's sitting back. Do y'all hear me? Okay. But Eric and Jessica, they make a very beautiful couple. They've been together for 4 years and they also met on Instagram. Child, what am I doing wrong? The wrong kind of men be sliding in my Instagram, child. Ain't no man sliding in my Instagram that I want to go on a date with. It's either people I don't want to be bothered with or one of those scamming boutiques talking about, you want to be a model for us? No, I don't want to be a model for you. In that same Fashion Nova suit that you done got from over on AliExpress. No, I don't. Child, well, the men coming in the DMs talking about something that needs to be talked about. So anyway, she said that he took her on a fun date instead of just a dinner date, and they went go-kart riding, they've been rock climbing, they did fun things. And I really think that was a good point, because a lot of times when a man takes you on a date, he takes you on those little dates, but it's like your standard date, dinner and a movie. But when you actually put some thought into a date and take a woman somewhere, where she can get physical, where she can let her hair down and have a good time, then that actually stands out and it makes a difference. So I thought that was cute. But anyway, he said that she's his homie lover friend. And she was like, oh, that's cute. That's real cute. She talks just like one of them Instagram girls, honey. They all have the same voice, that little soft-spoken voice. That's cute. I like that. Girl, if you don't woman up that voice, honey, and put a little bass in it. Child, anywho. So she said, they have trust issues because he used to play for the Atlanta Falcons. And she blames football on her jealousy. She said that she doesn't know if she can trust him. And you know what? It's tricky with those athletes. You got to kind of be careful. And he doesn't think they're ready for marriage. But she said marriage will put a period on everything. Okay, girl. So she said his teammates are still in the streets. So he want to be out there with them. So basically what you're telling us is he for the streets as well. Is that? That's what I'm getting from it. That he probably want to be for the streets as well. Okay. So Dr. Nicole tells them that they will be dating other people. Every week, she will select their dates based on what they want and what they need. So she gives them this exercise, right, where they have to write down what they can't do on dates. And they all basically said, no touching, no kissing, no texting, no talking, no breathing. Honey, just show up and sit like a mannequin. We're going to do the mannequin challenge on our dates. That's basically what they all said, right? So then Jessica said, and also no IG contacts being exchanged. Well, honey, listen. Okay, you're a beautiful girl. Okay, I don't know how old you are. I forgot how old you are, but listen to me. We live in social media land. We live in social media world. So you most definitely know that they will exchange IG handles. And you can just get their name and pull it up, honey. Girl, gone, honey. So Dr. Nicole, she hears all of the rules that they have, and then after all that, she tells them that there will be no rules and no boundaries. Child, y'all trying to make it real messy this season. I don't think it was that messy last season, even though we had Shay and she acted like she was crazy. But I don't think was it that serious last season? Somebody comment down below and refresh my memory. I think they had boundaries last season, but I guess not. So the first people to go on their dates will be the men, and it starts today. Ooh, child, I cannot wait. I love the dates. Okay, let's get into it. So the first person to meet their date is Eric. Okay, Eric. He has his little light hair, okay, and child brushing it and whatnot. And he's asking Jessica if he should wear this cologne that she bought. I would have said, sure, honey. Let us see what love smells like. Put a little bit on, honey. Go ahead. Put it on. Child, if you're going to be petty, so am I. He said he's excited because he's never seen Jessica act like this before. It shows she really cares about him. Now, I didn't tell y'all this part, but in first, he was saying that Jessica's love is rooted in fear because she's afraid that she will lose him, right? Okay, so now he's over here saying that her acting up and being jealous is showing that she really cares about him. So when you're not going on dates, her love is rooted in fear. But because she's being jealous and you're going out with another woman, it shows she cares. Okay, you play too many games, honey. I'm confused, child. I don't have time to play with you, child, at all. So he's making these little comments to try to make her feel away, okay? And she said, listen, do you, because you are setting the standard for my date. I know that's right, honey. You better tell him. She said, go ahead and have yourself a grand old time because I want you to understand that what you do on your date, I'm allowed to do on mine. Okay, but men are not as forgiving as women. So don't go lose your mind, Jessica, or you might find yourself on the street. So then we meet Shamara. And she is Eric's date. Very pretty lady, okay, coming on in. And she says she's perfect. Girl gone. Anyway, she gets there. And he tells her to go on upstairs. No, sir. Honey, you need to lead her upstairs. Because first of all, why are you trying to walk behind her? That's number one. And number two, you do not have someone just usher themselves on into your home, knowing your girl is upstairs. And that's going to be the first face she sees when she walks up those stairs. You a little messy boots. You a little bit messy boots. So when she walked up the stairs, she was like, hey, Jessica said, oh, you just walked up in here? I know that's right, child. He said, introduce her yourself. She said, no. I know that's right, honey. She said when it comes to dating other people, she doesn't like it because she knows how he talks to her as a woman. And she feels like the other women are going to like the way that he talks to them as well, right? So then they get to the date. As they're walking in, he's looking all at her butt, being all extra. And, he's like, it may or may not show me, what I'm missing. Child, ain't nothing in these streets. Keep your girl, okay? Have y'all some cute little babies, honey. And go on about y'all business, child. So he said he was not ready to propose because of their communication and trust. That's when they're sitting down and he's talking to Shamara. So she said, has there been any infidelity? He said, well, that's how we got together. It was her, and her. And I'm just assuming Jessica basically won. That's what I got from this interaction and what he was telling Shamara. So Shamara said, oh, okay. Well, listen, I can't deal with that. He said, if you're not with either one, then you should be able to date who you want, right? I mean, that is true. But at the same time, if all of them think that they are the one, then you are doing something wrong. So don't try to, describe it to her and explain it to her as they all knew there was someone else. I'm pretty sure they didn't, because Jessica wouldn't have trust issues and she wouldn't be acting a fool if she knew that there were some others waiting in the wings. Okay. So she said, look, I always ask everything from the beginning. And then so he says, well, hypothetically speaking, if we were together, how long would you say I would have to propose? So then she said, well, I can never see myself coming to a man like that. I want to know that it's genuine. Okay, girl, we all say that. Okay, that's all fine and good. And it sounds good and everything, when you're first meeting them and whatnot, you're trying to say something to sound good, girl. But at a certain point, you might want to mention it. I mean, I feel like after the 2-year mark, either piss or get off the pot. That's the way I feel, And quite frankly, me, myself, I've been proposed to 4 times. I did not accept all 4, okay, because I am not Elizabeth Taylor. Although I have been proposed to, 2 of them I thought long and hard about, and I said, you know what, I ain't going to be able to do it. But the other 2 I should have thought long and hard about and said I ain't going to be able to do it either. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm just saying, honey, at the 2 year mark, you need to know something. So he said he likes her. He's talking about Shamar. He said he likes her. She's a fun, no pressure kind of girl. Where did you see fun? Y'all were sitting down having a drink. I guess she was explaining that she's fun. Okay, maybe we missed it. Okay, I ain't gonna be too hard on her. Maybe we missed it. And he likes the fact that she's not giving him any pressure. She's just saying what every man wants to hear. At some point, marriage will come up. I don't care what woman it is. I mean, now she could be telling her truth. Who knows? But I just feel like at some point, every woman is going to start to wonder, like, where is this going? Am I just hanging out to be hanging out, or are you going to propose to me or not? Like, I feel like at some point, every woman is going to ask that. But I feel like all these dates are actors anyway, so you just never know. So she looked at his chain, right? And it said, I want it all. So he said, yeah, I do want it all when I like what I see. So she gonna say, well, do you like what you see? Girl, you're just trying to conquer, honey. You're just trying to conquer, child. And so then they get up. He was like, well, let me get a hug first. She said, oh, you smell good. Honey, I'm sure he does. That's the cologne that his girl picked out. Girl, goodbye and good night. Moving forward. Darion's date is next, and his date Kai comes up. She's 32 years old, body banging. Honey, her face got a few strong features, but I mean, to each its own. She said, I just am who I am, and I'm just amazing. I know that's right, girl, because if you don't feel like you amazing, nobody else will, okay? So he opens the door, gives her a nice little interview handshake, okay, because he know Alexia will come from that back room and tackle him to the ground. Do y'all hear me? Alexia gives real masculine energy, honey. She is not to be played with. So anyway, he gives her a little nice interview handshake and introduces Alexia. That was nice because Eric was playing games, honey. He didn't even introduce Jessica. He was acting like this was some kind of game to be played. But they were both grown women. They smiled and whatnot. And she said hello. So then Kai looks at Alexia and goes, oh, you're very pretty. Alexia said, thank you. Child, not a compliment in return. I said, oh, honey, baby, this finna be some mess. Let me tell y'all. So Alexis went straight ATL, honey. She said, when he opened the door, what he did? I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. When she asked that girl that, I said, oh Lord. So the girl was just like, oh, he just smiled. So Alexia walked them to the door. Okay. And she walks just like a basketball player, honey. She walked them to the door, looked through the little peephole as they were walking away. She was like, this gonna be a mess. So Alexia said she wouldn't have been that excited to go on a date with another man. And she's trying to figure out why he's so excited. Okay. Because he hasn't been that excited to go out with her. He's excited about all that junk, honey. That's what he's excited about. So we go on over to little man's date, which is Shawn. And his lady is asking about the date, right? And he said, she's like, y'all going hiking? He said, yeah, we're going to Kempwood. She said, you taking off your shirt? He said, if it get hot. So then she said, well, who's walking in the front and who's walking in the back? He said, we're going to be walking side by side. She said, is this 1 foot or 2 foot? Well, it should be 6 feet per the CDC. But I mean, I don't know what they going to do. But I'm just saying COVID is still out. So then Rachel shows up. She's a very pretty lady. And she says she wants the Jay-Z to her Beyonce. Child, y'all gonna wear Paul, Jay-Z and Beyonce out, honey. We need another couple's goals. Honey, they tired. They tired of y'all being compared to them. There's only one Jay-Z and Beyonce. But we get it. So she rings the doorbell. Then Shawn and Laronda start running to the door, chasing each other like two kids. I'm like, oh, look at them, honey. They have a fun relationship. Really and truly, I feel like Laronda and Shawn, just based on this episode, have a very carefree and loving relationship. Now, let me just put a disclaimer right here because I know how y'all like to come for me in these comments. My opinions of these couples and these people may change, and I'm very certain that they will change. This is just the first episode. This is my first impression of each couple and each person as an individual. Let's move forward. So, Rhonda opens the door to get Rachel. Rhonda, girl, get back, honey. She all peeking through the door. Hey, girl. The girl can't even get in good. Poor Rachel was cornered at the door. So then she hugs Shawn, and then she hugs Rhonda. I'm like, awkward. Honey, this is a mess. Baby, Rhonda said she gonna be in the place, honey. And what else is going on, child? So she was acting like her her son was going on his first big boy solo date. Girl, if you don't go on and get away from this door and let this man get acquainted with this woman. So anyway, and they're off to the races. Darion walking with his date like he's known her for years, arm in arm and hand in hand. Child, I think Darion is going to be our problem child this season. I can just tell. So he asked her what music she likes, right? She was like, oh, I like R&B and rap. He said, my stuff came out with Field Mob in the 2000s and my last album was in 2009. Boy, you just wanted to let her know you were in Field Mob. Any other night you be calling me, stock was going on. Any other night you be acting like a bugaboo. Ooh, boy, shut up. He just wants somebody to know he was in Field Mob. Okay, boy. She said, oh yeah, y'all came out when it was fun. When times were fun. Honey, probably don't know nothing about it. So she was like, does it feel awkward being on this date with me? He said, no, not at all. He said, you took all the awkwardness away when you came in, you grabbed my hand. And he was like, you fit the criteria of what a celebrity would want. Celebrity. Child. Okay, I guess in the ATL, child, okay? Because Atlanta is their own, Black Hollywood. So according to the ATL streets, Smoke is definitely a celebrity. But I'm just saying that, I wouldn't recognize him if he was in the local Walmart. But that's just me. She said, no, I'm just a regular old country girl. He said, yeah, I'm just a regular old country boy. Okay, we on the same page. He said, maybe because, it's new. This is what he's saying. It's confessional. But, I haven't felt a spark like this in a while. It's the new car smell. Listen, we all like new shiny things, honey, but don't throw away your foundation for the newness of it all. So then he tells her, him and his girl kissed on the first day, right? And she was like, well, if I kissed you, would you like it? He said, yeah, but, I would hope you wouldn't. Basically, some reverse psychology bullshit, okay? Because he really wants her to. So I think Kai gonna be a problem, okay? I got my eye on you, girl. So he was like, yeah, I'm scared of what I might do. You better not do nothing, okay? Nothing at all. So he said, he didn't want to give his girl any ammo. He was telling Kai this, right? And she said, this your time to be free. Do you want to be free with me? Oh, girl. Slow down, old strong-faced heifer. Honey, eat that spaghetti and leave that woman's man alone. I think she's a plant for this season's drama because something's just not right about Kai. I'm watching you. Shawn and his date Rachel are riding on the way to the park. He looking like her little brother sitting over there on the passenger side. And she asked what his problems are with Laronda. And he said, there's a lot of things that they don't agree on and we don't really communicate well, right? So they come to the park, I guess, to sit on this bench. I thought they were going hiking, but I didn't see them hike nowhere. And they came, sat down on this bench, and they were talking to each other. And he was like, man, she's almost too perfect. Everybody is perfect in their first hour of knowing you. It's called the representative. So Darion gets home. This one is finna get interesting, y'all. Okay, sorry this review running a little long, but it was some stuff up and through. So Darion gets home. Alexia looked like, she ain't moved all day. Honey, still in that same spot. Hair still the same. Clothes still the same. I'm like, you know what, Alexia? I love the fact that you are being real. You know what? The two of them, I'm looking at them and they look like a formula for a good reality TV show. I think we need to get the two of them alone outside to put a ring on it. I think that'll be some good TV. But anywho, that's just a side note. So she looking like she ain't moved all day. He comes in acting like he hated to return home. And I'm like, why are you walking in like this? Like, what is wrong with you? So anyway, he said the date was a lot different than he thought it was going to be, right? And he felt like it was going all right until they conversed. So then he starts saying, the way she dressed and smelled and, and women usually with a booty like that, they have breasts like that, they have brain for me in the breasts. And I'm thinking like, what are you talking about? I was so confused. I'm like, child, is this the English language? Because I was totally confused. So he was like, she's very put together and will make women that don't look like her feel bad. Say what now? Who? Okay, sir. Dr. Curves got 99% of Atlanta built just like that. So I'm pretty sure ain't nobody looking at Kai thinking, oh my gosh, I wish I was her. Honey, anybody can get those. They even have specials. They had a stimulus check special. If you had your $1,400 and you could make it down to Columbia, you too could have a body like Kai. Boy, goodbye. So she said, well, did you kiss her? He said, wait a minute, let me finish. You doing what she don't do. Smoke. honey, you about to get this smoke if you keep comparing her to that hoochie. Don't do that. So she said, listen, don't compare me. Child, he think he's slick. He's got a lot of chicks. He's always in the club. And they say, honey, I'm going to have to insert that whenever it's, accurate to insert it. Honey, something's wrong with him. So he said, I'm not comparing you. She said, yes, you are. He said, you're doing a lot of things she don't do. Sir, calm down, honey. You were out with her for 5 minutes. And so she was like, I could have done a lot of things, but I turned it down. She said, okay, well, then you should have. He said, don't say that because the chance ain't off the table. Baby, he feeling himself. Oh, okay. Don't come back treating her this way, okay? She got up, left because she felt straight disrespected. She said, listen, it's been 14 years and he has never compared another woman to me or described any other woman to me. And she wasn't about to sit there and let him start today. And I don't blame her. So she just got up and decided she was going to leave. I'm like, I know that's right, girl. So all the couples gather again, color coordinated and ready for the BS. Okay, so Dr. Nicole asked about their date. So she asked Darion first about his date. He said, the girl made him like her. And he kept Alexia in mind. They had fun. They flirted. But it reminded him that he doesn't have that now. He may have had a little bit of it in the beginning, but right now some things have changed. Well, when you've been in a relationship for a long time, some things change. I mean, that's just what happens. But Alexia said, so you're going to allow some woman that showed you something in one day and you're going to say I haven't showed you in 14 years? Don't compare me to another woman. Then here goes Dr. Nicole. Okay. Well, you have to decide if you want to hear every single nuance of their date. They don't have to share every single nuance. And if you do decide you want to know, nobody wants to talk to a person that doesn't want to listen. Okay, Dr. Nicole, okay? Now listen. I know you're the expert and whatnot, but I'm going to tell you and your ponytail right now, honey, y'all need to hush. He volunteered that information, and you need to be telling him it's very disrespectful for you to compare your spouse to another woman that you went out with for all of 5 minutes. That ain't cool. It's hurtful. That's what you should be saying. Dr. Nicole crazy, honey. So Eric says, she was very pretty and they had a good conversation. It was a vibe. And with Jessica, she needs a drink or two to hold a conversation. Oh, child. He said, and he figured out he still has it. Boy, hush, honey. This is all for TV. So Jessica said, he's just worried about sex. He just wants to smash something new. She said, well, if we don't work out, I feel like he's going to go back to being a hoe. Dr. Nicole said, so you think that's where he is now? And then Jessica starts tearing up and she said, yes, I do. Listen, this is the thing. Jessica knows how she got him. So that foundation is already shaky. So when she sees him going out with another woman and she knows that she's still in the picture, history could repeat itself. So maybe they need to focus on the foundation that they built first and get past those past traumas and then work on something new. Dr. Nicole, scoot over, girl. You and your ponytail, honey, let me help you work the room. So then Shawn said that he learned he could be trustful around other beautiful women. And Laronda said, well, I've never really been jealous, but I have to say yesterday when he left the house, I was a little bit jealous. And he said, well, that's interesting because she doesn't show emotions. And so then Laronda said, well, decisions come with consequences. He said, see, this is what I'm talking about, the threats. She was like, it's not a threat, it's reality. Dr. Nicole said, well, the way you position it isn't a threat, but it's utilized to control. Oh, here she go again. This is my opinion, okay? I don't agree with that. I feel like to me, she was simply stating, I don't jump all over him because if he cheats, then he's gone. Honey, he should know the right thing to do. So there's no need to micromanage him. There's no need to constantly ask questions because if he decides to dishonor me, then we'll no longer be together. Now, maybe the way she worded it could be perceived as a threat, but to me, I knew exactly what she meant. And I'm so confused because last season, Dr. Nicole was all over the girl because she was asking too many questions and she was insecure about her relationship because the guy had cheated prior to. Y'all remember that? But now she's saying to Rhonda, don't say things like that to him because you're trying to control him. How am I trying to control him by letting him know if you cheat on me, you out the door? Okay, girl. So now it's time to ask about another date, right? Eric said no to his other date. Shawn said no to the second date because she was too perfect. Then they asked Darion. He starts speaking his speech. He said, it's very frightening for me. But if going on a date is the right thing to do, now don't try to spin it as if going on a date is the right thing to do. Do you want another date with Big Booty Judy or no? Just tell us right now. And the way that Alexia is looking at you is looking like it's going to be a problem. So do you want to go on another date with this lady or not? Dr. Nicole said going on another date if it feels authentic and right to you, then that means it's the right thing to do. But honey, don't try to put it off on them like, well, y'all want me to do it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So then Dr. Nicole said you have two choices. You can either go on another date or you can go on a first date with somebody else. And according to the previews, he chose the second date. Child, this season is going to be good. I wish they would just start with episode 2 as soon as the season comes out, but I know they're not. We're going to go through episode 1 again. So don't expect a review for episode 1. We're going to take that night off. Maybe we'll meet and discuss, and then we'll hop back on this train for episode 2. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what your thoughts are about the new couples in this season if you've watched episode 1 already, and we will discuss it in the comments. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.